Now I know that they sell pants like these. They already come ripped and wrinkled, but not quite my style. Nothing wrong with it, but just not for me. This haul came about from wearing it for multiple years. And when patching clothing, there's multiple ways to go about it, and you don't necessarily have to get a piece of clothing that matches it, but it would be helpful to do so. You can either place it over the hole, but I tend to place it underneath just as it's less noticeable, and I don't know, I just like it better that way. Make sure it's more or less around the size of the hole. Make sure it's a tiny bit bigger, both up and down and left to right of it. So you're going to want to, no, forgive me. You're going to want to place it underneath the piece of clothing. Yeah, there you go. And make sure it's relatively straight. So here you can see my finger. Pequeño dedito. Come on. No, I really seem to be struggling with motor skills today. Okay, so there you can see that the piece of clothing shines through the hole. You're going to place it there, and you're going to want to sew it on. So I tend to find that the best way to start usually is from underneath out. At least when it comes to this. Make sure you don't grab it right at the edge of the rip or the tear, because the thread's already coming apart there. You want to get it a bit of a ways away from it, at least, I don't know, at least a centimeter, but it helps as the thread's stronger there and it's more resistant. It's going to be resistant to tear. I like to make a little knot whenever I'm sewing. Push it through. Make sure you don't poke your finger, but do feel around underneath it. You can feel more or less where the tip of the needle is going to be. So what I do is do that, leave a little thread, similar to what we were doing with the hole for the button, and we're gonna push it through. Make sure to catch it in between that little loop, pull it through, and think of it as a knot. So the loop's cut that way, you're gonna put it the opposing way, and it stays nice and solid over there. Push it through, and if you don't want it to be too visible that you were sewing it to patch on, make sure your piece of cloth is relatively straight still. You're gonna want to do it this way, make it less noticeable on the front, but make it resistant on the back. So what I mean by that, let me flip the pants inside out. Hang on, I'll pause it. Alrighty, so the plant's been flipped inside out. It's probably gonna be easier. Here you have your thread. And just see, there you go. Oh, no. Dang it, I didn't pull it all the way through, but that's okay. As it's already got a knot, we can snip off the part that I didn't pull through. The heck? Oh goodness. There's more than I had thought. There you go. Okay, there you go. And what I meant in the back is doing this. Yeah, make sure it's straightened out first. Oh geez, you can't even see that. There you go. Okay, so right there is where the needle came through. You're going to want to make it a generous amount, like this. Feel your way around the hole. Make sure that you're actually putting it through there. Pull it through. And you're left with a line of thread. Now what you're going to want to do in the front is feel around where the last piece of the needle you push through is. Right there. And push it through close, but not quite exactly the same as it was. So here you can see it's the end of the last place we pushed it through. You're going to want to push it through again. Nope, that's going in front of it. There you go. A tiny bit behind it. Now the purpose for that, I'll show you on this side right now, is so that you're left with a little point instead of a line showing in the front. And well, let me do that again over here. And I'm going to skip that step here just to show you how it's going to look in the front. Hold up, poke it through, pull it through. I'm going to need to get some more thread later, as this isn't going to be enough. But oh yeah, you want to make sure you're going straight too. Nothing wrong if you don't, but it uses up more thread. But anyway, I was a bit careless there. Okay, so the way it looks like in the front, you push it through. Hold up, let me get it in more or less clean space. The reason we do that is so it's scarcely visible, and it's going to look something like this. Now when you push it through right behind it and leave a tiny bit, it's going to look almost like a little speckle instead of a whole line of thread, if you want it to seem more or less invisible. Oh, geez, you can scarcely tell that. But that right there, hold up. No, it doesn't want to show. There, right there. Let me get another needle. Keep it. This right here is how it looks in the front. It's still holding it, but you can scarcely tell it's there unless you really look at it. And you just keep going like that all the way around.